what's going on? You're watching Molo in the City podcast, and guess what? It's your boy Julian, here to shut it down. Molo is not here today because she's definitely making some moves, but don't worry, I'm here to fill in. My name is Julian Miller, if you guys don't know. You guys have seen me probably hosting the hottest fashion show in Atlanta, or maybe you guys see me on TV, but nevertheless, I'm here right now taking over for Molo, and we got this awesome man with a fresh haircut, the dope glasses. Man, who are you?
King Sal.
King Sal.
LeDay.
Okay.
You want my government name.
You want the government. So what makes you King Sal?
Man, it was just time to grow up. They used to call me Savage. I lived a different life back then.
Savage. Okay, we know what savage means.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, it just was time to grow up, time to be a leader.
Okay.
And be a dad and so on and so on.
It's understandable. It's understandable.
Yeah.
How many kids you got?
I got 3, man. I got a beautiful daughter. She's 9. I got 2 sons, 4 and 2.
Okay.
Her name is Sanaya.
So you said 3, 4, and 2.
9, 4, and 2.
9, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started all over again, man.
Yeah, man. Well, it's all
It's
good,
no
man.
problem. No, it's no problem.
My kids saved my life.
Wow.
Honestly.
Okay. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Peach State, and of course, we definitely want to give a shout out to Mrs. Kelly Hooper, law attorney. It's amazing for you to be a supporter of Molo in the City. We appreciate you a lot, so definitely want to give you a thank you there, But back to what we were talking about. We're definitely going to get this interview started. We have a lot of topics, a lot of important, a lot of sad, and a lot of touchy subject that is going to be happening. So definitely, if you want to get your kids, get your family member, sit around the television and make sure you guys just watch and listen. And if you guys have anything to say, definitely reach out to us on Molo in the City. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and of course Instagram. Okay, so let's get right into the interview. So you know for a fact that I have to come back through and at least shut down Molo in the City, right? My girl Molo is not here today, of course, that's why I'm here to fill in. But nevertheless, I'm here to provide a great show for you guys, and just tune in, it's going to be a great show. On today's show, we definitely have the amazing, tell them who you are, man.
Chris LeDay, aka King Sam, my God.
And if you guys don't know who this guy is, he's pretty much the guy that was just... He's been through a lot, with the law enforcement. There's a lot of stuff going out there where Black Lives Matter, and also the Baton Rouge shooting. Baton Rouge shooting, I'm sorry. So we can definitely go ahead and touch a little topic on that to give you guys some insight, and also so you guys can get information on what's really going on out there, and just get an inside look of how the treatment was, right?
Yeah. What essentially happened was I knew somebody who knew the person that shot the video with Alton Sterling, and she was reluctant to even release the video. And since I knew like a middle person, I told her to send it to me because my platform allowed me to have a lot of followers on Instagram.
Okay, so that's why she sent you the video.
That's why I originally got it. Yeah.
Okay.
And but the whole goal was, to make it go viral because it was a simple case of cold-blooded murder. And these cops have been getting away with this for far too long, and everybody's just pretty much sick and tired of it. And I knew I had the platform to make it go viral. I asked everyone to retweet it 1,000,000 times, or repost it, reshare it, and probably in about 45 minutes it might have had maybe 300,000 views.
Now, when you went ahead and did you ever think that when you go ahead and post this on the internet that there will be backlash coming back at you?
I pretty much knew that would be some kind of ridicule to come behind it. And what they try to do is divert the attention away from the real matter.
Right.
They try to defame the character of the people who are actually responsible for getting it out to the masses. But in actuality, the real problem was the fact that another black man was murdered in cold blood by police who was supposed to be trained in all these tactical different methods, and they're using deadly force as first option, and it should never be that.
And you're absolutely right about that. I can agree with that. Now, previously you said it was sent to her by a third party, right? Or she was the one that actually recorded it?
She was the middle person between, she was the liaison between the girl who shot it. She actually wanted to remain anonymous.
Of course.
I still don't know who it is to this day, and even reporters are hitting me up, asking to get in contact with her. But strangely enough, law enforcement has found out who the girl was.
Okay.
And now they're harassing her, even though she hasn't come to the forefront. So I mean, it's backlash on our behalf for anybody who has something to do with it.
Exactly. And a lot of people out there, they're really going ahead and they're backlashing the police, you know, with a lot of protests and just doing a lot of crazy things. Now, do you think that even though the police went ahead and did this crime, you know, that which they did do you think that people protesting and going ahead and shooting police officers, or even being so rude to the law enforcement, that also help us out when we need it? Do you think that's actually a good thing to go out there and protest and actually kill an officer that is an actual human being that had nothing to do with the shooting?
First of all, you got to realize that, you know, media can be portrayed in any light that they want to portray it.
Right.
Just like I'm a living testament to the fact that they are willing to lie or stoop as low as, you know, fabricating stories and giving me charges that I never even had. They, you know, arrested me at my job, and we'll talk more about it. But
exactly.
You know, media is a thing that's powerful, but it can also be misleading. So I feel like, you know, these stories with these cops getting shot, there's still something missing to it. I feel like we don't have all the facts, and we have to, you know, people have to do their own research.
Okay.
You know, I do know that they've doctored some of these pictures. You know, and not to take anything away from these officers who lost their lives, because like you said, they're human beings. But just like with Alton Sterling, his police record wasn't important. So why are they bringing it up when we see on camera, first and foremost, that these guys here, you know, we have a suspect who's fully cooperating, getting tackled to the ground. They're saying he's reaching for a gun, but if you look closely, both of his arms are down.
Right.
You know, he can't really make a move. They're
exactly.
restrained. And the cop pulls out the gun, shoots the man in the chest. And the thing about it was, you know, they didn't think people were around videotaping it.
Okay.
So immediately after it was done, they put the owner of the business, they put him in the car for 6 hours. They go in and illegally, you know, they retrieve the security camera, you know, thinking that they were covering their tracks. And when, you know, when somebody gets killed in the line of duty, or you have to use deadly force with a suspect, the first line is to try to administer. No, you have to administer first aid.
Okay.
You call for ambulance.
Exactly.
You know what they said?
None of that was done.
Effing, leave him. And they didn't know all of that was being captured. And this is the things that the media is not telling you. The media is not telling you that this one of the cops had 15 reports of excessive force in the last couple of years. The other cop that was in the incident, he shot somebody 2 years ago and got administrative leave. Shot the guy 8 times and got administrative leave. Luckily, the guy survived.
Well, if you can think about it as well, the police are the government. So the government is also going to protect the police, you know? And that's really the messed up part about today's society, is that if someone is wrong in an action, they should be punished as well as someone that did an action, you know? But the government, they have us really like tackled, you know? And they protect the government, which is the police officers, simply because they want to make it seem like they're not corrupted or anything bad is going. Now, not all the government is corrupted now, but as far as what we've been seeing that's going on, it has went way too far. Way too far.
I mean, we just being honest, we tired, bro. I mean, we've been dealing with, you know, things of this nature for over 400 years. You know,
yes, dealing with slavery and everything of that sort. Yeah.
I mean, it was illegal to read. Like, come on, like it was illegal to educate yourself. And the thing about it is, if you still don't do your research and you let the media paint the picture of what they want to show you, then you'll forever be misled.
Well, you know what though, everybody that's out there watching, this guy, you were actually detained and you actually experience a little bit of how, you know, the police actually treat people that has either recorded a video or even been in the situation of being shot or thinking that they have an armed weapon on them and everything like that. So when we definitely come back, we're going to get more into that and see, you know, his part of the story and see how you felt about it, because I know that had to be a hard experience, you know. So stay tuned to Molo in the City and we'll be right back.
aka Molo. I am your host, Moshua L'Oreal, aka Molo. The wait is over. We are back with season 2 of Molo in the City podcast. As you know, we are your hub for all things fashion, music, art, and entertainment. So tune in every week, follow us on social media, and log on to our YouTube. We're in the city.
I don't even know my lines. Tongue-tied, I don't even see the signs. I'm so tongue-tied, I don't even know my lines.
Now, I know this is going to be hard for you to talk about. Maybe it won't be hard, but it's definitely a touchy subject. It gets very personal with you, So, you were incarcerated for 26 hours, right?
26 hours.
For a failure to appear.
Yeah, that's what they had to fall back on because initially, the cops, man, they did some sloppy police work.
But did you have a failure to appear though?
I did.
Okay.
It was traffic tickets, and
so they used that against you.
They did, and they said I was being arrested because first of all, he said I fit the description.
Right.
And I asked him to fit the description of what? Of who? They never had an answer for that,
Right.
so they didn't follow up on that. And once I was being detained for a while, I kind of know my rights. I kind of know what questions to ask the police.
Exactly.
I said, am I being detained? He was like, yeah. I asked for what? He said, we'll let you know shortly, which is illegal. To even be detained without giving somebody a reason.
Exactly.
So when they finally come back and they're reading me my rights, they're telling me that I'm being arrested for assault and battery warrant that I never appeared in court for in Dunwoody, Georgia.
Right.
And I'm laughing the whole time. I'm getting apprehended because I've never been arrested for that in my life, and those are my exact words. But I've never been arrested for that.
But
in my life.
where would they get that? Like, where would they just get that? Okay, we're gonna arrest him for assault and battery. Like, where would they just pull up something of that sort?
The cops, like you said earlier, they're the
Right.
government. They can do what they want to do.
So how many times did they arrest you? They arrested you the first time for the failure to appear, and then they arrested you again at your job?
They never even brought that up. I had to tell them, well, maybe I got some traffic tickets and done with
Right.
I've never had assault battery.
Okay.
So they never knew anything about the traffic tickets at all. They never had mention of it. Then the cop even told me they knew they attached my name to the base. They knew I would be coming to work that day.
Okay.
And they were told to hold me. Like, who does a sting operation for somebody with traffic tickets?
So they
That's
performed
not-
the sting operation with you,
Pretty much, yeah. It was like
Wow.
a setup. Yeah, it was like a setup.
and they actually came to your job and did that.
I mean, it was the military police that was already on base anyway.
Okay.
So they pretty much handled it, and then they said that Dunwoody was looking for me. And probably about 3 or 4 days later, an investigative reporter had called. He was trying to get down to the bottom of the story.
Exactly.
And he was like, I called Dunwoody, checking on the story, trying to check out, everything that went down. They said they weren't even looking for you. They just got a call and said to come and pick you up.
So my question
that's
to you
two
is
lies right there.
Exactly.
That's 2 lies right there.
So how is it that? How are the reporters able to get in touch with you?
Oh man, I mean, this is probably my 30th interview.
Okay.
So I mean, like the story kind of it went viral twice, so to speak, because the way I combated the police arresting me for something I didn't do, I tagged my mom and my dad on Facebook,
Right.
and then I put it on my other pages, on my Instagram and my Twitter. I say, look, I'm being surrounded by cops. I don't really know what's going on, but if anything happens to me, I'm just letting y'all know I did not resist, because you can't really trust the cops these days.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to combat whatever they may be willing to do to you, because I mean, just look at Philando, what they said he had a tail light out, and come to find out he never had a tail light issue.
No, back to the government thing. Do you think that I don't necessarily think it's the physical human being cop that is being that way? Now there might be some cops that is actually really dirty like that, but do you think that it's the government, like the chief of the police or whoever that's working in government, that's saying, hey, you need to be doing this or else you lose your job?
I'm not really sure, but where I'm from, cops aren't to be trusted. I mean,
Right.
we know cops that plant drugs on people. We know cops that frame you, set you up. Like I say, we have the #1 public corruption state in the country.
But the thing is that those aren't cops that is doing it. Those are people that got a job as a police and they're corrupt. That's the misconstrued, is that people think that it's all cops that behave that way. There's actually really nice cops out there,
Yeah, being nice doesn't have anything to do with, because cops don't rat on each other.
Exactly.
Cops get other people to say, hey, tell us this and we'll cut you a deal.
Okay.
But cops turn the other cheek when other cops are dirty cops.
Because
So
they
that
signed a
makes-
contract by the
essentially-
time they-
Essentially, that makes you a bad cop if you don't report other bad cops.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So if they sticking together, it's just like, if that's your principles, if that's the standard you set, then you all are a part of the corruption.
So what was going through your head when you got arrested? Like, I know you have your kids. Was that going through your head? Were you thinking about your kids? Were you able to even
Yeah, I was.
make a phone call before you got arrested? You're at work. Like, what did your boss, how did your employees feel about that?
Well,
Like, what was going through your head?
I was offended because I'm very transparent. I'm
Right.
a very honest person, and I take my words seriously.
Mhm.
So even with the traffic ticket thing, they got people coming on my Facebook and trying to harass me. So, oh, he's a common criminal, he's a thug.
Wow.
We talking about traffic tickets, and then we talking about publishing
People who know
murder.
nothing about you.
We talking about clear-cut murder on camera.
Right.
You can't compare that to traffic tickets and say, oh, I'm a common thug, like my credibility is lessened because I have traffic tickets. Like, who hasn't had a
I
traffic
think what it is that, like I said, the world is really depicted. You know, just because you might have tattoos, just because you might be a big guy or you're a black guy, I don't know what's up with the society. They think it's because you're black with tattoos, you're automatically a thug.
And that's fine.
And that's not the case.
That's fine. And the thing about it is, I don't think they expected me to be well spoken or well educated, especially with my factual knowledge of the state and the corrupt system. And we also have the #1 prison population in the world per head.
That's true.
So I'm gonna tell you what they do at home. They set up roadblocks, judging by the zip codes. So the zip codes that they attack each day are predominantly black, 99% black, pretty much. So if you're just setting up and you're just waiting on everybody to pass through to check every single person that may live in that community. I mean, it's a ton of people that have warrants for speeding tickets, or may have a warrant for a seatbelt ticket, or may, you know, instead of fighting real crime, they're really trying to keep people coming through their system.
Exactly.
So the more people come through the system, the more money they make. And jail is a business at the end of the day. That's what people have to realize. So if I could send people coming through my business, just like if you own a store,
right.
If I can keep traffic coming through my store, that means more money, right?
Exactly.
So they keep trying to make the dollars come up. And that's all it's about.
He makes a very good point, guys. And do you think that now, do you try to stay out of trouble so that, because you already know if you do something, or even if you get pulled over and a police officer recognize who you are, or not even that they recognize who you are, but they go ahead, you don't know what they could have on your record, and you probably get pulled over and they go ahead and they put you in jail again, but for a longer time. Are you fearful of that?
I don't live my life any differently than I have before, because I mean, if you believe in being righteous as a person,
right?
You know, everything will prevail in the end anyway. The righteous will always prevail. So being that I did 26 hours, which wasn't a big deal, they had a man that lost his life.
Exactly.
At least I get to go home to my children. You know, it was a mix-up, and I'm not really sure who actually, you know, was responsible for saying, look, this guy has assault and battery, pick him up. But like for them to go out of their way to do all of that, it lets you know that they don't want people out here speaking out about it.
Now, how do you think they're going to feel about that? That you're here on television and you're not only your 30th interview. Do you think that they're watching each one of these interviews and they're like, okay, we're good?
They're definitely watching, because like even with certain magazines that I haven't talked to, and even with certain websites and news stations that I haven't talked to, they're snatching statuses off my Facebook, off my Instagram, off my Twitter now. You know, instead of talking directly to me. But I mean, that's fine.
Because some of these media outlets that's out here, they're not trying to pretty much encourage you, or not even encourage you, but to at least hear your side of the story. They want to ask you questions and just really see if they can hit something to where you say it on national television to where it will diminish your
right. And I know that, and but at the same time, I'm not intimidated by the tactics that they're using.
Okay.
I'm gonna always speak up for my people. And I'm very proud of the way we've come together. We've unified, like, you know, it's almost like the 60s again.
Exactly.
And a lot of times when there's disarray, and it can't be organization when there's confusion.
Exactly.
So for once, a lot of people have slowed down and said, hey, let's get together. This is wrong. And it hasn't just been black people. It's been a lot of supportive white people, a lot of supportive Latinos, a lot of, man, I
have a big support system. So
I had to do an interview way in New Zealand for somebody. So like, this is an outrage amongst the world. It was a disgusting act that they committed. They got caught red-handed, and they were offended that they got caught instead of being offended that you killed a black man on camera. You know, for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah, basically for nothing.
Well, you know what though, we definitely want to, here on Molo in the city, and everybody that's out there watching, we definitely want to thank you for at least coming to sit down with us, sit down with myself, you know, me as a 23-year-old black man that is trying to make myself a living for myself, I'm sorry. You know, definitely want to tell you thank you. You gave me a lot of knowledge, you know, and keep doing what you're doing and don't stop. And you inspire so much. I bet your kids are so proud of you, you know.
Yeah, man.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah,
and we're very happy to have you here on Molo in the city, as I say. For more information on how you can find out about him or anything that's going on in the society today, please visit our website, visit our YouTube page, and all that will be there. Once again, thank you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Come back anytime y'all want me back.
He loves Molo in the city.
Oh, my Instagram is MobGod, MOBBGOD. Same for my Twitter. Same for my Facebook.
Okay.
Lip Pimp under Chris LeDay.
Most definitely. And My name is Julian. We love Julian on all social media sites. Definitely thank you for coming out. Molo, we miss you. Wish you was here. And have a great day, guys. Thank you again.
Hands up, please don't shoot. I ask these people, am I not good enough for you? Oh, somebody tell me what's going on. I want to know. Bounce, bounce away. On the innocent, we're so afraid. Anything could happen on any given day. See, we're still enslaved in so many ways. Bloodshed on the streets, blood on our hands and feet. We've lost the value of you and me. Bloodshed on the streets. I'm on my hands and knees. I'm praying, I'm praying, I'm praying. Right now more than ever, got to be strong. 'Cause Lord knows we're hurting, and it ain't the time to be alone. So please, Lord, just rain down your blessings in these homes. 'Cause we can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. We're only human. We're only human. We're only human. We're only human. Justice, freedom, we need 'em. Your grace, your mercy, you feed us. Hatred and violence is what we see. But your love is what we need. Bloodshed on the streets, blood on our hands and feet. We've lost the value of you and me. Bloodshed in the streets. I'm on my hands and feet. I'm praying, praying, praying. Right now more than ever, got to be strong. 'Cause Lord knows we're hurting, and it ain't the time to be alone. So please, Lord, just rain down your blessings in these homes. 'Cause we can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. Oh, I know you may think we are different, but we hurt the same, cry the same, and still remain. We are only human, and change is overdue. Lord, we need your strength to pull us through. Ooh. Right now more than ever, got to be strong.